family that covered up the black nobility and played the social affairs out in the public's eye so that the black nobility can remain concealed and continue to do their dirt unmolested.
Well, then why did the Pope just release the new Black Madonna?
Because he can't keep it secret no more. The Grand Matriarch seat is the Black Madonna seat. Right? Madonna means mother of Donna.
And you got to understand, a lot of those relics were in those churches all across Germany, Italy already, centuries. That those Black Madonnas have been over there for centuries, unbeknownst to us. And
that's the land of ISIS anyway.
He's just revealing it now.
Yeah, all of the Europeans revere the Madonna and Child, which is Isis, the Queen of Heaven and Earth.
And their Madonnas are black, though. They are literally black statues.
Okay, right. Yeah, the one he released her.
Because that's what she was, a melanated woman.
You know what I'm saying? On the land. So we brought Rod on, man. Rod finna get ready to crack heads into his camps. Can you hear me, Rod?
Yeah, I can hear you. I gotta go out and come back in. So what you do, run that video, because this is gonna be the foundation for what we're gonna be talking about.
Got you. I got you.
Do I sound pretty clear?
Yeah, you clear. You loud and clear.
Okay. So it's a couple things I need you to remember. When they talking about the number 13, right? They talking about the spell put on the Great Mother by the secret societies.
Okay.
When they talk about the 72 star seal in the dome, they talking about the 72 sigils used to seal the Great Mother womb.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then they gonna talk about the layout of Washington, D.C. Those are sigils on the ground for conjure spell.
Okay.
Right? When they talk about patriots, they talking about patriarchy.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so when you listen to it, they gonna give you all of this history, and they gonna tie all the stuff we've been talking about, the usurping of the Great Mother and the restoring the Great Mother back to her throne. They finna show you all of the places they put the spells on her, but he's gonna be telling it as if the number 13 is a cursed number. But the curse was put on the number 13 by the patriarchy to put a circle of blockade around Big Mama's seat. Right? He's dealing with DC, District of Columbia. Remember, before it was Washington, DC, right? It was called Rome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? To tie us back to all of the biblical prophecies. Also pay attention to how they connect George Washington to Zeus. And remember that Zeus is Enlil.
Okay.
You got that? So I can't hear you that good, so I got to go out and come back in so you can run that video. And by the time it's over with, we be ready to boot up.
I got right into it.
Mm-hmm.
About how this our nana land, how they use stealing them, try to usurp the mother's rights in the mitochondrial birth. Yeah, this is connecting all that stuff together. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
So that guy is a lecturer and an author. And he got books and everything out on this stuff, talking about it. But what he's tying together, he not knowing that he's identifying the involved secret society's signature spell cast.
Okay.
Each one of them had cast a spell. You have to find the keys, right? And then you have to use your imagination and develop your psychic intuition where you can keep analyzing what's being said, who's saying it, where's it coming from, right? If you go back to that guy he said was writing the codes, his name is the code, right? So I don't know how you want to do this, but we could either dissect the video or we could go on to the regular Q&A.
Hey, like however you want to do it, but I got some questions concerning that video, and the questions that I had go along with that video.
Now, remember all the tough stuff I told you at the beginning, right? True.
About the 72 thing, because I was like, okay, do that connect with the 72 demons of Solomon?
Yeah, because only those are the energies that the 72 seals have in them.
Okay.
Only by knowing which seal, what these 72 seals is, they actually DNA codons.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? But when you know the energy frequency, when it's being used in the conjure spell, it'll stick out. Now notice they only put 5-pointed stars in all of the 72 seals. That's the reverse side of the coin. The other side is the sigil side. So the 5-point star represents Venus.
Go ahead.
Right? The aspect of the Great Mother that is her most seductive and her most loving. Right? When she goes to the Big Mama aspect, the old crone, she's now seasoned, well developed in her mental perception of this reality. Right? And now she's seated on the throne as the old crone, Big Mama. In the beginning stages is the young girl on her fool's journey to become Big Mama.
Okay.
Right? So they reenacting the story on the Blue House, which is signature of the Hiram key, Hiram Abiff, who was struck by 3 ruffians. Hold up. Yeah.
Hey.
Hold on 1 second now.
Go ahead, handle your business. Yeah, that's gonna bring me to my next question that I got. That's gonna tie into this whole thing. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, Rod, this gonna tie what you just saying. This gonna tie. Now, this is the big question because I wrote this one down, man. I pondered on it all day, and you just said a lot on this already, and there's a lot out about it. But it seemed like to me, based on my research, as I'm still learning and going back and finding other stuff, I'm always finding a woman breastfeeding a child, like it's a male child, right? Even when I go back to studying the reptilians, they got the reptilian breastfeeding the male child. And then you go to the Inanna one, the Black Madonna one, Nimrod and his mother. I mean, it's always all the storylines, Jesus and his mother, Cleopatra and her son. It's always the mother-son concept. But it seemed like to me some kind of way they reversed it and made it father-son. They took the mother out and then put the father-son concept and the breastfeeding connection. Could you go in a little bit on that, the mother-son concept? Go ahead.
That's where you get your Masonic Lodge, mother and son, mama trained the son. So in these depictions of this imagery, the woman breastfeeding the infant, but the father is always counseling a child. He's not never breastfeeding, right? He's standing either next to him or he's standing, kneeling down to talk to him. In our culture, the Roman culture is a little different. It's freaky. It's male on male freaky, right? So the original was the birth of Earth's great defender, Heru. Heru's status as the prince who's the heir to Osiris's throne, but there's one problem. His uncle Set is in the way. So Set in the way becomes Satan's way. So now he got to figure out, as the infant to the Great Mother, how do I get my mama her proper position back and take my father's throne as his redeemer? I had to get rid of Uncle Set. So we waged war, the Falcon, against Uncle Set, which is really the armadillo from the south of the United States, but that's a whole nother thing. The war between Horus and Set is a war for the throne of Osiris that Set usurped, right? So who Set usurped means under something, Big Mama C. Do you know somebody who sit under Big Mama C, Elder?
The Pope.
The Pope.
Yeah. Peter's chair. Like Peter's chair.
Yeah, but St. Peter's chair is at a whole nother church.
Yeah. Go ahead. Break it down, right?
They use that because Peter is Pater and Pater is Father. So the Pope is holding Big Mama chair for his father, Set, that set him as a Jacobin, an underminer, under her throne to put the circle around the throne to block her from getting back to her seat. Right? So they show you the conjure magic part of it with the 72 stars in the uterus of the Great Mother. Right? But here's the part, if you notice at the beginning, she's not dressed like she from Egypt. She's not dressed like she from Rome. She dressed like Queen Califia. Play the first 30 seconds again, Elder. Where y'all can see her and then stop when you get on her picture and see if we can blow it up. Don't have the level of resistance of a human spontaneously gender transitioning.
Started with the frogs first, most sensitive to the environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, frogs were switching sexual disposition, actually gaining some of the gonads, actually growing wombs because of the exposure in the soil to the lexicon of chemicals that were coming out of the sky via the governmental chemtrails, which are harmless, according to the federal government.
For the last, ever since the first Trump election, they've been spraying stuff to try to clean that up. And this is why you have it looking like rocks falling out the sky.
Mm.
It's binding agents that bind to those chemicals to get them out of the air. In some places, your snow, it looked like styrofoam because it's binding agents.
Yeah.
In some places, they even literally raining rocks. Well, all that's the stuff that they're using to clean up the chemtrails. Well, we don't know. We out here going about our daily life, la-di-da-di-da. Somebody was terraforming the earth for a new species to inhabit it.
Absolutely. Giving us the
Right.
blueprint in social media for us to accept certain types of new physiology, them, they, Zerzy, all kinds of new wording to accept a new kind of, geoengineered life form, or
Yep.
a life form that was being introduced here, like the other life forms that came previously.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So when we looking at the totality of the picture, and we come to now, what's taking place now, based on what historically has happened, their days is up. That's it for them. It's over. Now we seeing the rollout of the ones that's sending these orbs ahead of them before they get here. The government desensitizing the people with drones the size of SUVs.
Absolutely.
And you know this because Donald J came on and said they know exactly where they at. If they came out of a garage, the military can go right in that garage.
Absolutely.
They know where they came from. They know where they went. That's the drones, but that ain't the orbs.
But you notice that they purposefully created a new term called UAP to take away the verbiage UFOs, which is classic. And they make sure they keep saying drones, but they don't tell you these light ships. And some are diamond-esque type of macabre looking ships. They don't speak about that, and they don't tell you why there's plasma shooting at the orbs, shooting some of them down. I mean, not the orbs, shooting at the drones, shot a few of them down.
So when you get to the biblical description of the angel and they draw the picture and they give you the Dyson sphere, that's what the orbs are. Those are satellites. Those are reconnaissance satellites that is sent ahead of the fleets before they get to their destination. Wherever they coming from. If they coming from the inner earth, if they coming from a parallel dimension, if they coming from outer space, if they coming from a different time zone, wherever they coming from, they send those orbs, those Dyson spheres, as satellites. And all of those, what appear to be eyes, are just cameras. They give them a 360-degree panoramic view of the layout before they come. So when they come, they know where they're going. They know what they're about to enter into before they get there.
And the orbs are actually placed on, we've noticed and documented, they're over every landmass, and it's usually one, if it's a smaller landmass, so you'll see the orbs positioned there. So they're definitely documenting the area and getting a scope of what's going on. And the other places like Jersey, maybe where there's more nuclear facilities and more, that's where the drones are erecting in more masses to try to accommodate and try to cloak the others that are here. Yeah.
So let me point out something since you brought up New Jersey. Noble Drew Ali went into what's called the Moorish Zionist Jewish temple and discovered the magic that they was using to subjugate the people of the land. He came out of, this was in New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey. He came out of the Moorish Zionist temple and established the Moorish Science Temple. Right? Because it was a direct confrontation to the Moorish Zionist Jews. Right? These Moorish Zionist Jews is niggas.
Which is Sephardic, just FYI. They usually, sometimes they call themselves Sephardic.
The Sephardi are the Spanish converts, pale-skinned Spanish converts. The original Moorish Zionist Jews was nappy-head niggas, right? And they live across the land in gated communities, and they talk about us like a dog, metaphorically speaking. And they don't like us. And the only time we gonna see them is when it's time for them to send in what we call operatives to interfere with some progressive movement we have.
That's right. And they start working side by side, looking like you, but they're not you.
And they maybe their famous thing is kill Whitey, but we don't know he Whitey until we read Black's Law 5th edition, meaning a free white person in law. It mean a Moor. So when you read Secret Relation Between Blacks and Jews, printed by the Nation of Islam Research Team, you will realize some of the places where these Jews wasn't no pale faces into the 1900s.
Nope, they were all brown.
Then, gotta show you another one.
Yeah.
This book right here, it's called Empty Wagon.
Empty Wagon.
This is a pale-faced Jewish rabbi. The subtitles say Zionist Journey from Identity Crisis to Identity Theft. The book is about...
What year was it written? What year was it written? Can you see?
Let me look.
I'm sorry, because I went to school with Dr. Jeffrey, so I wanted to know.
Dr. Jeffries.
Which is friends with Malachi Z. York, yeah. He was my professor in college.
You mean Dr. Leonard Jeffries?
Yes. Isn't it synchronistic?
Yeah, that's something else. You know, Dr. Ben wrote a book called We the Black Jacobins.
Yes.
Right. So
if you can find the data, don't worry. I'm going to ask you later because I want to find out if it syncs with something else. Yeah.
It's right here in the front of the book. (2020, 2018, 2020 was the revised.
Okay.
Anyway, So when you seeing New Jersey being the first place where these drones are sighted.
Hold on, before you go on, if we're going to reference something that some people got to remember is that in one of the old movies, it was Twilight Zone, or was it The Outer Limits? It was Twilight Zone. It's called To Serve Man. The first place they show in the movie is New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. And just another reference, there's a gentleman I knew who was the father of my friend who saw their first UFO over Newark, New Jersey, and a giant hiding behind a window, behind a building. So Newark, New Jersey is a hub for something else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the connection to Newark is the side of Shakur.
Mm.
That's why she in exile.
Go. Okay. Wait.
Okay, so
yeah,
New
you
Jersey,
got me excited here. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, she's the queen of New Jersey. That's her territory. That's her land.
Oh.
So she's in exile. So
Yes.
they running amok and disregarding her as if she's irrelevant to the land. She won with the land. She from the land.
That's right.
Right. So we all screaming hands off Assata. So the first thing I want to tell Trump, tell that governor to give her a full pardon.
Well, remember Trump also, and I don't know if you remember, because we know that she was last seen, obviously she had extradition, she had political asylum in Cuba. From what I understand, and she's been relocated somewhere else with the protection of perhaps Russia. But what I'm concerned with is that when Trump came back into power in 2016, I don't know which Trump, his first thing was to put a bounty on her head again. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, well, that was to bring attention to Benghazi.
Okay, okay.
Right. Now, when you go look at the images of Benghazi and you want to know where Tupac is, then go look at the images and come back and we had this discussion again.
Oh, okay.
So you got this brother with these Arabs shooting up the embassy in Benghazi. They can't tell you that they know Tupac ain't dead.
Mm.
That changes the whole liberation dynamic of our people if we see that they know Tupac is alive. Right? They asked Puffy about it since he been locked up. They say, Puffy, we heard you put $1 million bounty on Tupac head. He said, Tupac ain't dead. And they was like, what? Where he at?
We heard it from before. So, and also there were sightings of him. So we presumed that most likely he did one of those, no sight, no sight, no
So
see.
in the art of war, when the ruler or the general is believed to have an assassination order, it's also in the guerrilla warfare of Mao Zedong, who faked his death at least 6 times. That if, in order to throw off the strategic value of the opposing force, you feign the death of the strategist, and now they can't adjust for him as a strategist. So they can't make a contingency in the warfare for this particular general. It's like having Hannibal, but you don't know he's still alive.
I understand. Yeah. You're chasing a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she said chasing the ghost, and the irony of it is he got a song called Ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts? Real live black ghosts?
What? See that? It's all in the lexicon. It's all in the lexicon.
Pre-scripted. Tupac is the Tupac Amaru reincarnated. He inherits the war of Tupac Amaru. Whoever he was fighting as Tupac Amaru, as a Mississippian from the Panther Totem Clan, when he's born, because of his genetic rank, he inherits the war that was given to Tupac Amaru. Just because they kill one of us don't mean we're not going to send somebody into the future to come back on our behalf.
That's right.
Just like I inherited the war Chief Pontiac against the French. Right? And just like Divine Insight inherited the Haitian Revolutionary War of Toussaint Louverture. We don't want this shit.
That's right.
We don't want it. But we got to fight the war if we want to be free.
Well,
so what we don't want work. Do we want to be free, or do we want to be slaves? Do we want to be go along to get along slaves, or do we want to fight for freedom?
Well, you know, my concept is we're living in a simulation, so you're always going to get a character to match what's necessary. It's always a program, so you gotta get someone in. If one's taken out, that same character in another form has to come in to complete the mission. That's just my
right
on it. Yeah.
Now they thought that when they froze Tukey, because they didn't execute him, they put him in cryostasis.
I could see that.
And then, because he was what you call persona non grata in the war. You're not supposed to take out one of the big three chiefs. Most of us on the land right now don't know who the big three chiefs was.
They're not, but they can isolate them, they can encapsulate them, but they're not allowed to kill them. It's part of their agreements, yeah.
So when they gave him the death penalty, instead of putting him to death, they narcotized him.
Yeah.
And then they put him in cryostasis.
I could see that. Yeah.
Now, they thawed him out, I think in 2020 or 2021, they thawed him out. Because he had been frozen for so long, he was classified as dead. You can't kill him twice. He walking around between two places, Area 51 and Raven Rock, Colorado, in the underground bunker.
That's why they probably flooded out Area 51 not too long ago. Yeah.
That's where he came. That's where they had him stored at when he was frozen. Right? Now that he thawed out, you gonna know, because he gonna come to you, and I'm gonna tell you how you gonna know it's him. Look for the lightning bolts and the walking lightning, because that's his signature.
Okay.
When he come to you, he's a guerrilla chief, so he might be a whole gorilla come to you in the psychic connection as walking lightning gorilla.
Well, I figure maybe I've been prepped with you and the others previously. Yeah.
Okay, now the other two chiefs, you got the Tukey is 44 blue.
44 blue.
44 blue. 44 being angel.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What we know is Chief Malik Jeff Ford, Angel Bay, is 44 red. He's the one supposed to be out here kicking these in their ass. His tribe was busted up by COINTELPRO before he was able to realize the totality of his mission. They had to get him where they can put him under and make him a bond servant. They can put him under their jurisdictional authority.
And I'm sure they found out who he was and whatever his mission was.
They knew who he was from birth.
Yeah, Project Looking Glass, they can see the variations within who comes in. They know, kind of like Terminator.
They've been following me my whole life.
I know that's right. I know.
I've been knowing they following me because I done had times where I be walking down the street 3 a.m. in the middle of the night in Chicago and don't nobody know me in this area. And then I feel like somebody watching me. Who the hell is this watching me? Right? And I'm looking around and I don't see nobody, but I know they there.
They are.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's a book called The Sense of Being Stared At.
You can feel the dagger of sight on someone, whether they're cloaking themselves, putting in invisibility. They watch certain people, and I know the legitimacy of someone by the attacks they get. Because I'm the queen of attacks on YouTube. I love the attention. Let me give a shout out to YouTube for being the biggest hater. I mean, they attack me for nothing. I could say the word clone, I get attacked. But usually by default, because one can recognize real by the amount of attention and also attack and the types of attack. So when they try to take away from people looking at someone who can give them value and just lead them like a Moses into an awareness, they'll attack them personally. Welcome to the world of social media. Okay.
And that's also part of the verification of your mission. If you don't have no opposition,
you're not worthy of.
You're not doing something right.
It's true. It's true.
But
Yeah.
but when they coming at your head like they came for you, like they came for me,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of others, you know, you doing something right because they want you to stop doing it at all costs, and they going to pull out all the stops to shut you up.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
They can't figure out, because I know they MO. So I was able to systematically use social media and don't form in congregated groups.
Listen, you don't have to. Yes, I know.
I
Because what
know
they'll
they
do is they'll
I
send.
know they MO, I know they pattern, I know how they operate, and I've been staying just outside of they operating procedure, they SOP.
Mhm.
Right? So I already know how they move. So I'm moving right on about their way. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because we about to take this SOB over, and
Right.
ain't nothing they can do about it.
Well, now that there's targets on everybody's back who was trying to cause any sort of like ripple, because that's just basically going to ripple back into their direction. If you didn't take us out already, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. So now all of the ones that was attacked and the people that was doing the attacking, the ones that was the frauds, they gonna be drug out.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is sit back and watch. We don't gotta do nothing. We the chosen ones. And the reason why we chosen, because we chose ourselves to accept our path to do our work. Don't nobody want to do this shit for real.
Absolutely not.
This is some, look, it's when you talking to people, right? I tell them I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Right? I can show it to you, but I can't give you the realization. You know? And I'm fully aware that smart people sound totally bat fucking insane to a dummy. Right? So now we looking at okay, so where you fit in the category. Is you the one I explained it to? They want me to understand it for you? I can't understand it for you. Right? Or is you the one that think I'm insane because you a total idiot? Yeah.
I hope someone, yeah. Did you all receive? Okay.
So when we take these responsibilities on, people think this come with glamour like a celebrity. It don't come with none of that.
No.
This is
It comes with a lot of paranoia, a lot of trying to evade things, trying to, relegate your life around certain types of, what you perceive challenges or attacks,
Yeah, like you might be looking at somebody pointing a gun at you, and you tell somebody next to you, he pointing a gun at me. You know, why you think somebody? You always think somebody trying to do something to you.
Exactly.
I'm looking at him pointing this gun at me. No, you
They have
just
no
paranoid.
concept.
I'm not paranoid. I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and it's the same as someone who sees a craft and one who doesn't. If your perception of reality is higher at a certain grade or hierarchy, and someone doesn't see it, they will think that you're insane for seeing something that they're unable to see.
Or if they're going to come up with a cognitively dissonant explanation to try to explain it away, because they can't explain it.
Your contacts are dirty. You fell asleep. You were partying last night. You were drinking something. So now your contacts are foggy. That's why you're seeing the glitz and glitter in the sky. And even, or, you're suffering from depression. You broke up with your boyfriend and now you just, delirious. One or the other. Yeah.
That's what Prince say. Let's go crazy. Let's get wild. He had a song called Delirious too.
That's right. That's right.
And he wasn't just talking.
Well, Prince did,